It is time for the one and only, the premier, the only official podcast of Pro Rodeo. Your Chute Bosses are ready, so let's give it a go and talk some rodeo.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back inside the Thomas & Mack Center here in Las Vegas at the 2024 Wrangler National Finals Rodeo presented by Teton Ridge. Time for another exciting episode of the Chute Bosses. Tanner Barth and Tim O'Connell, and our sponsor here making everything possible out here in Vegas. That's the Husky Trailer Parts Company. Tim, what a night of rodeo it was. We get to the TV pins and the rough stock. I knew it was something you were looking forward to. When I saw the day sheet, I got even more hyped in what a night it was, and it really performed.
In the bareback ride, I just knew we were going to start with fireworks. Mm-hmm. When you looked at that list, those guys, it was like they did a draft. I mean, stylistically, everybody got what they wanted. And I said before the rodeo started, we could see multiple 90-point rides. And 88 caught last hole.
Yeah, last hole.
I mean, what an amazing round of bareback riding to kick off the entire rodeo. That was electric from start to finish.
And how about Jacob Lees coming in and getting a share of the money here tonight at the top spot?
It doesn't surprise me with Jacob Lees. It was only a matter of time. He's been here. This is his second trip to the NFR. He got on Virgil in the Padres Stadium early this year at Rodeo San Diego and was 92 on Virgil. So he's been there. When you've been on a horse of that caliber and that prestige and you have the confidence that I can ride him, but not only can I ride him, I can spur him with my command. And when he came in the Big S, which the Big S is the fun trip of Virgil. When he came in that Big S, Jacob was locked back, feet flying, total command of the ride. Virgil was doing what Virgil does, and it was awesome. It was like the seventh horse out, and that from that point on, I said, oh, this round's about to get spicy.
And, yeah, we continue down with another 91 in the back half. Talk a little bit about that performance as well.
Dean Thompson is the dark horse that nobody's seen coming.
Yep, you're right.
Like, I had my dark horses with R.C. Landingham and Jess Pope coming in to steal the show from Rocker and Keenan. Dean Thompson said, I'm the darker horse that's coming to ruin everything. I mean, a 91, he is, through 5 rounds, he's the most aggressive bareback rider here. He has been electric from night one. He has total command of his spur out, total command of his feet. Sometimes he can be a little bit over-aggressive, which he spurred over one horse's neck here. But, like, his aggressiveness is pulling him right back down to center. And tonight on the back-to-back world champ, Ace is a 91, and I mean put it on him.
It was a beautiful ride, no doubt about that. And let's talk a little bit more about Keenan Hayes. He found a way to, stay right there. He stays consistent, keeps himself right in the average. And he's a guy that we obviously know is battling that groin injury, but he seems to be, sticking right in there through 5 nights.
Sticking right in there, doing what Keenan needs to. But here's the situation. Keenan is now starting to get sore. Like, I just spoke with him as we walked down the hallway, and he told me, he goes, I'm going to get this fixed after the national finals. Like, he goes, this is starting to hurt, which I kind of predicted it would. There's no way. It doesn't matter how tough you are, how skilled you are. This is an injury that when you wake up in the morning, it hurts. When you go through your day, it hurts. And this is a normal person.
Yeah.
And when you go to bed at night, it hurts. Imagine getting on the 10 rankest horses in the world.
Yeah.
The thing that I couldn't figure out was how to manage it. I knew how to manage it in the regular season. I would ride on the horses I wanted to, and then I would go home, rest it, recover it, settle it down, come back.
Yep.
But when you come out to the national finals, there's no room.
No choice.
There's no choice. There's no time off. I mean, you're going to call last night their day off in the hopper pen.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, once it gets aggravated, it stays really aggravated. But he has not backed down one bit.
He hasn't, no.
But on the other side of the coin, Dean Thompson just put himself in a real race for a world title. He has got to be the front runner at this point after 5 nights to take down Keenan Hayes for his second world title. So Keenan needs to keep doing what he's doing, but he also needs to keep cashing checks.
Yep.
He can't just get by skating through this thing because Dean is now moving up on him in the average. And if he keeps winning like he is, he's going to get close enough where that average will make a difference no matter where him and Keenan are at in it. and he'll nullify the average, and then it just turns into go-around money. Like, this is a race for a gold buckle.
Well, we'll see if anyone can knock Keenan Hayes off the top of the podium here at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Well, let's move on and talk a little bit about steer wrestling. Jesse Brown maybe didn't have the start to the NFR that he wanted here in 2024, but the former Washington State quarterback bounces back and gets a big win tonight. He also made a horse change and went to Justin Schaefer's horse Banker, and it seemed to pay off for him here tonight.
And that's what winners do, right? Like, he was a quarterback.
Yeah.
When you're a quarterback, you command your offense, you command the game.
Yep.
You know when things are right and you know when things are wrong. And he's man enough to say, I'm going to make a horse change here and I'm going to put myself in a position to win. Jesse Brown has won at every level. So for him to say, that's no different than me saying, I don't like this rigging. Well, I'm a 3-time world champion. So I'm not going to blame myself. Why would I blame myself? You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Jesse Brown knows what he's doing.
Something's got to be wrong.
Something's got to be wrong. Something that is not comfortable. So, like, what do? I would change riggins or I would change gloves. Jesse Brown changes horses. What's he do the first time he changes horses? Wins.
Yeah, and another team that was looking for a little bit of change in their pattern, Tyler Wade and Wesley Thorpe in the team roping. They come out, win the first 2 rounds. After that, they miss the next 2. And tonight they come back and they get back in the winner's column. They've had an interesting NFR, to say the least, Tim. You know, it's been a bounce-back mentality. I talked to him tonight. They say, as you told yesterday, to Bradley Miller, act like it didn't happen. We're back here. We're ready to rope. We know how good we are, the defending world champs. And tonight they proved they're not going out of this title race without saying something about it.
No, and there's mulligans that can happen in the team roping.
Yeah.
I don't know if 2 mulligans are going to do anything.
It's going to be tough to get back.
It's going to be super tough to get back into an average check with 2 mulligans. But reigning world champs, just like I said just a second ago, they know how great they are. Mm-hmm. They've done this a million times in the practice pen, run so many different steers, no other horses, know this arena. They are electric in this arena. So as soon as you can put away the negative of having 2 off nights and say, hey, let's go rope. Let's go have some fun. Let's be fast. They go right back to the winner's circle.
And they do, yeah.
And they do. I mean, 3 out of 5 nights, they have 2 misses, but they have $101,000 in earnings because of it. That's a team that, if they're just going after day round checks, that's a scary team just to go after day round checks.
Yeah, it can definitely get them back in the hunt for a world championship. And then last night we talked about it in the saddle bronc riding. You mentioned it. I told him what you said here tonight. Don't let Ryder Wright get hot. He claims a split of another round win, and this time, he shares that, but also he starts to build a little bit more confidence as well. And then Brody Wells, who had a round win earlier this week, jumps back in the winner's circle.
These guys are so flashy when they put it on broncs.
Especially TV pin broncs.
Pin broncs. The best.
Beautiful, yeah.
Ryder is always electric.
Mm-hmm.
Like we kind of talked about the other night. Like, Ryder was just off for a couple of years. I don't know if it was the shine from that Zeke got and Stetson got, and he felt like I kind of got lost. Well, he found himself. Mm-hmm. And like we talked about the other day, the thing that sticks out to me the most out of all of it is he took ownership.
He did.
I missed this horse out.
Yeah.
I have to be better.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody can take ownership of their mistakes and say, that's what I can control, I need to be better about controlling it. So what's he do last night? He holds his mark out.
Yep.
And then goes and wins the round. What's he do tonight? Holds his mark out, goes and wins the round.
Mm-hmm.
That guy has electric feet and a beautiful style. He's a world champion for a reason, and that was fantastic tonight. And Brody Wells, he put it all over
he did.
Pretty
the
Woman.
black tie, yeah.
And I mean, I was talking about the eliminator pin when he had the high-low horse.
Yeah,
I'm going to blank on her name, but high-low, there's your horse. But the black tie is the black tie for a reason.
Yep.
If you could hand-pick them and you had to pay to pick them, I'd put the house. Here's my whole house. Here's my mortgage.
Whatever you need, yeah.
I'll get a loan, but give me black tie. I'm going to put all my chips in. You give me black tie, and I'll take whatever I can get from it. That horse is amazing. She is so flashy, and it lets you show every bit of your style. And Brody Wells has got some style when he puts it on one.
Well, and it might be tough for Ryder to get back in the average. We'll see how that shakes out, but definitely keeps himself right in contention for a world championship. They're going to be kind of a 3 or 4 horse race, I guess you could say, down the stretch there to see who wins the world championship. Let's move on to the tie-down roping. We mentioned the other night it was Ty Harris from San Angelo, Texas, getting the round win. How about tonight? It's his younger brother, Joel, getting out in the mix. And we even had a chance to talk to Ty, and he had tears in his eyes. He says, this one feels so much better than my round win the other night. And the kid definitely deserved it here in his first trip to Las Vegas.
He does, man. And the brotherly love, when you can have a brother in there with
Yeah.
you, like, it's special. You've seen that relationship back in Houston when they had to have
Ride
a
the same
shootout.
horse,
They
yeah.
had to shoot out for the Houston win, and they rode the same horse, and they took time to make – and Ty's making sure that Joel's stirrups right for $50,000. I mean, when you have somebody that's family, but you want them to win more than you want to win, that's special. And, like, that's just love. I mean, that's brotherhood to a T. Like you said, you know, winning's great for me, but to see him come here and win, that's more.
Well, they're riding the same horse here in Vegas, too. So it's interesting to see there. You know, now that horse is making some money up here
I
in
wonder
Las
who's
Vegas.
adjusting whose stirrups.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should ask him. Let's move on to the barrel racing now. And for the second straight night, Cassie Mowry, you know, if she doesn't have that tip barrel in round 2 and Haley Kinsel ends up winning that round, Cassie Mowry is right on the tail of Haley Kinsel. And also, you know, she's just piling up checks. That's now 4 out of the last 5 rounds where she's finished in the top 2.
And it's not surprising, right?
It's not, yeah.
Cassie Mallory, one of the greatest horse trainers in women's history when it comes to barrel racing. I think that can be said. I mean, I think the barrel racing community would like me to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, she is fantastic. It is not a surprise that she's coming out here and dominating. But the other thing is that history is history. Mm-hmm. Sister will tip a barrel out here. So far, through 5, we're clean.
Clean, yep.
But there's always that chance. If that tip barrel comes into play from Sister, which she is looking phenomenal, Cassie Mallory is a serious player, and them two girls will duke it out if anything happens to a barrel from Haley at that point, because Cassie can win at any given moment. And she has proven, like you just said, I will cash checks, but I will cash big checks, not just little checks, big checks.
Well, and she's, I mean, I think 3 out of the last 4 rounds, she's set the round record. So she's in a position right now where she can have a great opportunity.
Well, double check me on this. Has every round record been broken in the barrel racing?
She didn't break it tonight. Missed it by 1/100th of a second.
1/100th of a
Yeah, it was
second.
13:43 tonight, and the record from Summer Kozel was 13:42.
So these girls are flying
Yeah.
through this, and that is the kind of world title race you want to see.
And it's going to be fun to see how it shakes out. Let's end it with the huge storyline. Couple ground money made up in the bull riding tonight, and it's a young gun, Resistol rookie Cooper James. Looks like a kid. Throw up the hearts for you right there, Coop.
baby.
Had a chance to talk to him last night after he bucked off from the first time, and he just was cool, calm, and collected. He's like, we're back at it tomorrow night. He comes out here and wins $43,000 in round number 5, and he's right in that world title race. But a big tipping point towards the back end of that maybe some of the fans didn't see on the Cowboy channel because they had to end the broadcast. That was Josh Frost covering a bull after the whistle, and he makes a pretty good chunk of change as well.
That was big for Josh Frost.
It was huge.
It was big. That's a big step in the direction of winning a world title right there. That ground money is such a difference maker in the bull riding. That can change the game in an instant. We've seen it with Kai Hamilton last year being the only guy in round 7, $100,000 a day, and he bucked off their last 3 bulls, but it was too much for anybody to overcome. That was a huge step for Josh Frost. But the biggest story, that was his first PRCA buckle.
Yeah, for Cooper James.
That's
insane, man.
How do you fathom that?
In the top 10, how do you get to Vegas in the top 10 in today's day and age and not have a rodeo win under your belt?
I had to check. When you told me that, I ran over to him in the interview to see, like,
what is he wearing?
He's got a buckle on. Like, is it? And that, like, my mind's like, in a joking, is it a high school rodeo buckle? It was. It was a high school nationals finals buckle that he was wearing. For him, it blows my mind. Someone of that talent has not won a PRCA Pro Rodeo, but the first one you do, it's $43,000.
You just got to be cashing checks all over the country. That's the only thing you can do it. Consistency. If you're not winning first place, you just got to stay consistent and stay in the money. And I'm sure he thought, man, am I ever going to win a buckle? But like you said, no better place to do it than right here in Las Vegas.
But I mean, the first buckle you win is a round buckle at the Wrangler
That's
National
so
Finals.
special. You're going to go down to the South Point with your family, man. You're on the, you're on the road. You maybe not see him. Yeah.
And you want to, right? You want to win the Pendletons. You want to win the Cheyennes, the Calgarys, the Houstons, because you want that prestige. But the one thing that's different than all of them to the Wrangler National Finals is he was the best bull rider in the world tonight. On the best bulls in the world.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like any set of pins out here. These were the best 15 bulls matched up with the best 15 guys. he is the best bull rider in the world tonight. That's a special buckle to put on.
And it's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out with him and Josh. You mentioned that ride from Josh after the broadcast was done. Keeps him right in the average. Both riders 4 for 5 now in that average race, which is pretty darn good start here in Las Vegas for those bull riders. But we had a chance to sit down and talk with Jesse Brown about making that horse change and why he made the decision to get on another one despite riding the world champion Tyson. So we're going to go to our interview here with Jesse Brown.
Have you been searching for trailer parts? Check out HuskyTrailers.com for their huge selection of in-stock trailer parts. From axle kits to lighting, wheels and brakes to suspension, we have it all covered. For 62 years, Husky's been keeping their customers traveling down the road safely. Shop online at HuskyTrailers.com and use code NFR24 for 10% off. That's HuskyTrailers.com, where everything ships for free. Husky's proud to be an official partner of PRCA and the NFR. Husky Trailer Parts, generations of trust delivered.
Cowboying is in our blood. Cowboying is in our bruises. It's in our rain-soaked jackets. In our calloused hands, tested by barbed wire and rope. Our mud-stained boots to the crown of our resist-all hat. You live out west for even the shortest time, and there's one thing you learn. You can't pretend out here. Resist-all. We live it every day.
It's time for your round-winning interview, and we sat down with steer wrestler Jesse Brown. 3.6 seconds wins round number 5 of the 2024 Wrangler National Finals Rodeo presented by Teton Ridge. Jesse, how about it tonight? You come out, get your first round win here in 2024. You know, you go to a horse change. What went into that decision for you here tonight?
I've been struggling a little bit. Nothing hasn't been just clicking, so I needed to do something else, and that's what I thought was necessary, and it helped that I drew really good as well. So yeah, it just worked out. You know,
we talked about maybe not the start to the Wrangler NFR that you wanted here, but how important is it to have that mentality of we got to push this to the back of the mind and move on to the next round?
Yeah, you learn from the runs before, but you also got to flush them, and each round's a new one, and it's 30,000, and a lot of momentum coming with that. So yeah, never say die and just keep going at them.
What was it about Banker tonight that allowed you to get in position to do your job?
I got the start, and I got caught up really fast, and yeah, he was key to that, and Tyler Pearson hazed him great.
The rest is history. And Jesse, we now have this win under your belt. How do you use this to build momentum? You know, obviously still a ton of money out there to be won here over the next 5 nights.
Yeah, just keep going at them. I mean, there's 5 more, so that's what's the good part about winning the round right now. Like, just keep going and win as much money as I can.
You excited to go down to the South Point?
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I can't wait.
You got a limo already lined up?
I don't know.
What's the plan?
That's their job up there, I guess. We'll see. Yeah.
I love it. Congratulations, Jesse. A heck of an accomplishment. Hopefully we'll see you back here tomorrow night.
Yeah, thank you.
There it is. Jesse Brown wins round number 5 of the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo presented by Teton Ridge. You know, and you can tell Jesse, he didn't necessarily say anything's wrong with Tyson. He just said, you know, I felt I needed to make a change. You know, he's really committed his entire career to riding Tyson. It's making him into $1 million man. But he says tonight, you know, I just needed something to change, and it ended up being a really good change for Jesse Brown.
And sometimes you just need to make a change to get on the board.
And maybe it's something that helps change your mentality a little bit.
It's 100% changing the mentality. It's no different. Like, I've been in the locker room every night just kind of seeing how guys are taking things.
Yeah, the dynamic, yeah.
Cole Reiner needed to change riggins. He gets on the board.
Sigh of relief, yeah.
Sigh of relief. Like, it is so defeating out here to go through 4 rounds and not win a check because you know, deep down, you know that you're one of the best in the world. But it's so difficult not to hit the panic button. And sometimes you just need to make a little change and let yourself know, I can compete with these guys. I competed against these guys all year. A little change is not bad. He might go back and get on Tyson. We don't know. But the change was smart. The change was smart just so you can get that sigh of relief, get the monkey off your back. Let's go out here. Let's have some fun because now you know you can win. And you know that at any given night, not only can you win, you win first.
And I thought, you know, by round number 5 that we'd maybe have some separation. Who's going to be your clear-cut world title favorite? Tim, I think things have just gotten tighter. We really haven't had much of a separation. It's just like, well, here now we are, nothing decided through 5 nights in Vegas.
And don't you love it?
I do.
I mean,
those storylines just keep getting better.
Storylines keep getting better. World title races keep getting tighter, and new players are emerging.
Yep.
Like every single one. I mean, like for the first 3 rounds in the barrel racing, this was Haley's to lose.
Now here comes
Cassie Mallory. In the first round of the bareback riding, who's going to win between Keenan and Rocker? Here comes Dean Thompson.
Yep.
I mean, the only one that we weren't really sure on was the bull riding.
I'm still not
and we
sure
still
for
have
sure.
no
Yeah,
idea
I know.
who's going to win the bull riding. I love the fact that it would be fantastic as a viewer, not as a rider. As a rider, you want your gold buckle solidified before round 10 even happens.
Yeah.
That's like the, let's go
Yeah.
have some fun in round 10. They're going to give me a gold buckle after
Exactly.
this. But the drama for rodeo fans that every event could be decided on 8 seconds or less. Maybe not the barrel racing.
Yeah.
Barrel racing takes about 13 seconds. But 8 seconds or less for every event, round 10. That is what makes this sport so great.
I can't wait to watch the final 5 nights here in Las Vegas. World champions will be crowned on Saturday night, and we'll have all of the coverage right for you here on the Chute Bosses. That's going to wrap it up for another special edition here from Las Vegas. Until next time, keep on rodeoing.
He's addicted to danger, ruled by passion and pride. To pain and fear he's no stranger, but his lust needs to be satisfied. Hooked on an 8-second ride.